What's up? Welcome back. Today we're in chapter 25 of Proverbs, and the title of that text is A Word Fitly Spoken, starting in verse 1. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height, and the earth for depth, and the heart of a king is unsearchable. Verse 1. The Proverbs in chapter 25 through chapter 29 were collected by the men of Hezekiah, who was a godly king until late in his life, in 2 Kings 18 through 20. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Verse 4 through 5. The dross had to be removed in a crucible to provide the refiner pure silver adequate for making something useful. The people who stand before the king are his servants, officials, and advisors. For a throne to be established suggests at least uncontested rule and possibly a dynasty. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thy eyes have seen. Verse 6 through 7. Prideful self-promotion is not wise in Romans 12:3. There may have been a specified order in which the officials were supposed to stand in the presence of the king. To stand in someone else's place would be pretentious. It is possible that the last few words, translated whom thy eyes have seen, go with the next verse, which means that which your eyes have seen does not be hasty to take court. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof. When thy neighbor has put thee to shame, debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thy infamy turn not away. Verse 8 through 10. Frivolous litigation and divulging confidences will ruin one's reputation. Thy infamy turn not away is literally a bad report will not return. That is, the person who disgraces you will not have to take it back. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. Verse 11 through 12. The decorative apples or apricots are not just golden in color, but apparently made of gold. They could be spheres set on a tray or images inlaid into it. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Verse 13. Harvest time could be dangerously hot in 2 Kings 4:18 through 20. For snow to fall at harvest could be disastrous, but the wealthy sometimes had to carry down from the mountains for refreshment. Whoso boasted himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. Verse 14. Most rain in Palestine comes during windy thunderstorms. By long bearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Verse 15. A bone is the hardest part of a person. Here it represents strong resistance to persuasion. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as it is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, unless he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. Verse 16 through 17. Too much of a good thing is bad, so even a good guest should exercise moderation. Withdraw thy foot is literally make your foot precious on account of its rarity. A man that bear false witness against his neighbor is a maul, and a sword and a sharp arrow. Verse 18. Perjury against a neighbor is as devastating as mauling him to death, or opening him up with a sword, or piercing him through the heart with an arrow. Confidence is an unfaithful man in time of troubles is like a broken tooth, and a foot out of a joint. Verse 19. Unfaithful is literally treacherous. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather as a vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to a heavy heart. Verse 20. Here are some actions that make things worse. Cheery songs can make a depressed person worse in Ecclesiastes 3:4. Pouring vinegar on soda make the vinegar foam. It also neutralizes both and makes them worthless. The word translated soda could also be a deep wound. Pouring vinegar on it would bring suffering with no benefit. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. Verse 21 through 22. To heap coals of fire upon his head does not imply vengeance, because God does not reward vengeance. In Romans 12:17 through 20. Rather, it may refer to the shame an enemy feels when his assault are met with good deeds. The north wind driveth away rain, so does an angry countenance of backbiting tongue. Verse 23. North comes from a word that means hidden, which is a pun on backbiting. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Verse 27. The second line is difficult. It could mean, and to investigate matters that are too weighty is not honorable.